Is Wes Watson safe in any prison? What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I've been asked a few times if Wes Watson is better off getting transferred back to a prison in California. And for those of you guys that somehow aren't aware, especially those that follow all the Wes Watson stuff, it's not a secret. There's a lot of content creators that have already put it out there. But Wes Watson in Florida has two groups that want his ass. Literally. And these are two dangerous groups. You know, Wes Watson had said in a video one time that if he ever went back to prison, he'd run that shit because he has all the money. I don't know where that works at all. But I want to get into the differences and the consequences, right? So, out here in California, it's very political. And when somebody comes in, they run with a certain car based on their ethnicity or their gang affiliation, whatever it be, right? And that's your car for life. In Florida, you're basically on your own. You can't hide behind politics. It, in my mind, reminds me of the California Youth Authority. California Youth Authority, you didn't have to get the go-ahead, the sanction to do whatever you wanted to somebody. Somebody rubbed you the wrong way, get them. And it seems as though that's the Florida state prison system. Wes is looking at something very ugly. You know, and hold on, before I even go any further, there's people that have said in the comments, like, yeah, you know, in California, you know, you don't walk as your own man, but over here in Florida you do, and that's not true. Out here in California, you are definitely your own man when it comes to your own people. That's the biggest threat to you, no matter what group you're in. The biggest threat to you is your own people. Within that car, within your car, you are an individual. When it comes to other ethnic groups, other races, yeah, your people are going to back you up as long as you're conducting yourself in the right way. Now, out there in Florida, they do things, and not just Florida, outside of California, outside of the West Coast. A lot of these other state prisons where you are on your own. Your race doesn't just back you up because of what race you are, right? Other races can test you. They can also punk you in ways that you only see in Hollywood. They make a punk out of you. And I think you know what that means. There are some dudes that they get so tired of getting beat up. And instead of picking up or learning how to make a weapon and picking that up and using that to stop what's happening to them, they just give up. California don't do that. They're not going to take your manhood like that. They just take your win. They take your life. I honestly believe that I think that there isn't a prison system where Wes Watson is safe. And there's going to be people like, oh, why are you giving it up? Listen, let me tell you something. If content creators are aware, so are the cops. Wes Watson definitely is aware. I don't know how true it is, but it's been put out there that he's not coming out of his cell. I have a theory on that too. And I want to wait a little while before I get into it. And once I do get into it, you'll see why I waited, right? But whether or not Wes is coming out of his cell now, sooner or later he will have to. I don't know where he's housed. I'm not that invested in it. I'm answering a question that was posed to me, and it's a very serious question. Wes Watson, while he was here in California, he offended a very, very serious group. And that group has reach all across the United States, across every jail and prison in the United States. So when he left California, as long as he stayed a law-abiding citizen, he was pretty much fine. But his ego, this caricature that he created, that he invented out of thin air, made him drop the location. This is where I work out at. If you want it, we already know, and we know what happened. You can't portray yourself as a multimillionaire and invite dudes that may have nothing and nothing to lose to come and get you, fight you, in order to sue you. That's what he did. I believe that's what happened in the 7-foot monster case. This dude was like, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get down with him, and then I'm going to sue him. That's why he set the camera up. That doesn't, and people are going to say, well, Wes should be able to beat that case because of that. No, doesn't work that way. Especially the way that wound up going down. I don't know the laws of Florida, but I know in just about any other state, you are allowed to use force to stop the threat to you. You are not allowed to use force where you become the aggressor. That's the problem Wes has in that case, right? And regardless of who he offended, the case against Megan, the case he picked up against Megan, I don't know anyone. I've never met a criminal that was okay with their sister or their mother or their daughter being beaten by a man. So while some people may say, man, that's none of my business, there's other people that are going to be like, fuck that. That could have been my sister. And we don't know. Megan, she may have family members in the system. And if she does, that's another enemy. The problem with this creating enemies, especially online, is you don't know what they look like, but they know what you look like. Wes Watson is in a world of trouble. Not just because of his charges, but because of his actions. When we look back at the night where he got into it with Dumbbell Rob, that's fucked up calling him that, but that's the nickname he got stuck with, right? When you look back at that video, he directed racist remarks towards the Island Boy's black friend. When he was in the gym, he used those same type of slurs. The Florida jail system is packed with black men that are going to want to know what that was all about. And they're not going to want to know with words. And I said it, and I'm going to end this in a second. Wes Watson lied about being the shot caller. Everywhere he went, he pulled up. They gave me the keys to the block. They gave me the keys to the yard because I'm Wes Watson, WW, San Diego, Dago now. All that stuff. A lot of states grudgingly have an understanding of how serious, how violent California prison system is. And when you portray yourself as the baddest dude to have ever gone through the California system, and then you go to a system somewhere else, there's going to be some bad motherfuckers waiting to test that. And like I said before, the consequences in Florida prison can be uglier than death, worse than death. California, you find yourself dead. Florida, you might wind up with some lipstick on. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.